Hello.
How do blind people know that they're done wiping?
We already talked about that, no? Or did we internally talk about that?
We internally talked about
Yeah, we
it.
internally talked about that one. I would stay stacked on those wet wipes.
Do you like Justin Bieber?
Whoa.
Are you a Justin Bieber fan?
I'm not like
Oh,
a
good, huh?
believer, but I like him.
A believer?
I like them.
Are you a believer?
I used to be.
Oh,
Did you have his poster in your room?
No. I had his
because
binder.
that would be gay.
I had his binder, and that's where I would put my poems.
Wait, really?
Yay. Just
I
kidding. That's
just
cute.
love the way you smile. It makes me want to run a mile.
Oh.
Everybody fucking wrote that shit in their fucking poems. You
What?
never wrote that?
Not that.
Big-
You're
Really?
fucking whack.
No, my poems were actually good.
Actual poems.
Yeah, my poems were
Not
real.
like this guy that doesn't rhyme that Sylvia showed us last episode.
Kevin Tierney.
You guys never? Yeah.
I feel like you would be
What?
That-
Why did you look at me?
that guy on American Idol
Yeah.
thinking that you were like really good because someone in your life
He was low-key insulted right there.
Low-key.
because
Good about
someone
what?
in your life told you that you were really good
At what?
at like singing.
I
or-
was really good at singing. I had a solo in the choir at church.
just because the church choir gives you a solo doesn't mean you're.
The priest told me that I sang really good.
You know, a lot of kids whose moms volunteered for choir got choir solos.
My mom never volunteered for. It was this English speaking church.
Oh, excuse me.
My mom doesn't speak
Excuse
English.
the fuck out of me.
Wait, why were you in an English speaking church?
I don't know how I got involved into choir.
Okay, well,
This it might have been my parents that told me to,
And why would they send you to an English-speaking church?
because when you joined choir, it was like mandatory for you to just be available for masses.
oh, like you just so you joined like a choir group and they would send you to different masses.
No, I joined the choir group at school at Our Ladies.
Oh,
¿Me lo dijo?
Ma, estás en vivo en el podcast otra vez.
Va.
Di hola.
Hi.
Hi.
Ma, tengo una pregunta.
Ajá, decime.
¿Cómo fue que empecé en el coro de la iglesia?
Para empezar, pues estudiabas en una escuela católica.
Ajá.
Entonces, el profesor de canto que había en el colegio, fue el que nos introdujo para que fueras a las misas, a que fueras a cantar. Mr. Méndez.
Ajá. A ustedes.
Ujú.
O sea, yo...
No. Para que nos dijo a nosotros para que tú fueras a cantar a las misas de los domingos.
so you were in school choir.
I was in school choir. Pero ¿cómo fue que empecé? O sea, yo
You were
dije,
the
yo
chosen
quiero...
Yo quiero cantar.
Yo quiero cantar y cantabas. Aleluya, aleluya.
You see? I had a banger ass voice.
Sí, no, si a ti
Prove
te gustaba mucho participar en muchos eventos, te gustaba imitar voces, pero
What?
eres muy activo.
Oh, ok. No,
Ujú.
Es que me quería sacar esa duda porque no me acuerdo cómo había empezado.
Sí, no. Mr. Méndez era el profesor de canto, de música en el colegio. Y ya luego él nos dijo que él ya eligió niños y todo eso, y a ti te gustaba y pues participaste. Ujú.
Ok, thank you, ma.
Ya. Ok, pues, bye.
Bye.
See, I was fucking a sick ass kid, bucko.
All right, well, you'd still be
Yeah,
that guy
okay,
on American
actually,
Idol
no,
thinking
no.
you work.
Okay, well, first of all, it wasn't my mom that picked me. It was the actual music teacher. So I apparently had some pipes.
Okay.
Okay.
Shit.
Good for you. Prove it.
What you want me to sing?
I had to try out
Hallelujah.
for the dance team and I still made it. So
I
this
don't
is all-
believe
this is all
you that
rigged.
you were in the dance team.
I was on the dance team. Was I good? No, but I was on the dance team. And I had a whole ass tryout. So I don't know. Dude,
Wait, you had a
honestly.
tryout?
Yeah, you had to try out.
What was your number? What did you?
That's
Even
it.
Sylvia's
Well, they
laughing
had
at you.
I don't remember that. If Danny was here, maybe we could pull it together, but I don't remember it. But it was to the song.
Let's FaceTime her right now.
That stupid J-Lo song. That.
Oh, on the floor.
Yeah, that one.
That was
Yeah, so we learned like 15 seconds of that song or 20 seconds of that song. And I always remember because Danny and I practiced together. And there was this part where she goes, huh? And you had to like go like that, like move your head up and down for the listeners. And our neck like literally was sore.
Whiplash.
You got whiplash.
The fucking.
Ella muy acá. And the next day, I wait.
By the time we got to the tryout, we were like, oh shit. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, sometimes teachers just feel bad for you and they pick you.
No, because I got picked.
No,
Okay, I got
not
picked
mine.
by the music teacher, and I had a solo. So that means the priest had to approve of my singing abilities to the church and to the people.
Sus.
You're just jealous
I
that
don't
I'm
know.
very good
Churches
at
are sketchy. So I don't
They
know.
are very sketchy, but I had a really good time.
You know what the funny thing is? I was also in choir, and I had a banging voice too. But I don't sing in front of people anymore because I'm traumatized.
I don't
So-
think I can sing
She
in front
just
of people.
goes, baby,
Yeah,
baby.
we just have stems.
Yeah.
I don't think I could sing in front of people right now.
I don't even karaoke.
Let's harmonize. Ready? Wait, I love that video.
TikTok, I know, it's amazing. We tried it when we were in Italy. We were like waiting to eat dinner, but it was like a long wait, and it was what, like 6
Somebody
7 of
has
us?
to have that video because I was trying to look for it and I don't
think
have it.
Elsie has it because I think
I
she's the
gotta-
one that didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so we like she was recording us, but I just could not.
Mario, reminder when you're editing, ask Elsie.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm afraid. I want to, but then if no me sale, then I'll be embarrassed.
It's just Sylvia's mouth going.
What are you doing? That looks wrong.
Nobody clipped it.
You haven't even introduced us.
It's been the longest intro ever.
Can't do it. Pressure.
Ready?
Vive con huevos. 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 No sé si lo saben, pero en mi vida.
What's up, guys? My name is Mario.
My name is Sylvia.
My name's Pao.
Welcome back to another Vive Con Huevos podcast. I hate that it just.
Cuts it.
Just-
I know.
ah,
I know.
just-
It's a really.
You should fade it out.
That's what I try to do, but I just feel like it's too short. Like I want it to be like longer. Pause.
That's what she said.
You know what else I whoa. You know what else I used to do in class, and it would annoy the shit out of my teachers? The pollito noise.
Oh, that's actually a crazy noise. Like if you like,
so annoying.
you could very much do it without people knowing where it's coming from. I can't do it.
You can't.
No.
Now I'm not left out. I have a thing.
Wait, you could do it?
Yeah.
I told you. I
Everybody do
couldn't
it with us. Everybody in the car, do it with us. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Wow, that's really good.
She's just so sad.
That's cool.
Wait, I just saw a little bow right there. Wow, that's really good.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
Is that what you would do?
A mí me gustan mucho de esos.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, today was one of those days.
Yeah.
Today
Hey,
was one of those
today
days.
This week.
Yeah,
Was one of those
this week
weeks
felt very
for
long
me.
for me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But today definitely took a lot out of me. We finished a commercial account for work today, and when we're cleaning buildings, God, some of these engineers or whatever, the architects or whatever, they need to put some fucking airflow in those fucking buildings. God
Yeah.
damn, there ain't no windows and no fucking
I
ventilation.
know, that's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
That like I feel like if you went to clean my offices at work, that's how you would feel.
It's exhausting because,
Yeah.
well, obviously it's labor, but también the machine just makes so much heat, and then on top of it,
And the steam.
the
and
steam, y
everything.
está bien encerrado. Dude, yo salgo de malas a veces.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm just
Yeah.
like, don't fucking text me.
Yeah.
I'm so-
If you need me, don't.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. And like the smallest things irritate me. Whereas like if someone was like behind me, I would punch the fuck out
Yeah.
of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
But
Mario
yeah.
does not have anger issues, you guys.
We'll clear out next time you come home from one of those jobs, Book.
I know I actually enjoy my drive back home. I really do feel like that kind of just
It helps you disconnect
Resets. Yeah.
and like reset.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because when I was working from home, I kind of missed that commute. So like my favorite commute was when I was in college in San Francisco because I didn't drive because I didn't have a car out there. So
Yeah.
I would either take the Muni or an Uber, and it was like amazing because I would just sit there. And I actually didn't mind taking the public transportation because it was like just
it's
time.
better up there too.
Yeah, and it's very good up there. But it would just give me kind of time to unwind for my day, and then I'd get home and like feel a lot better, you know. So I did when I was working from home. I would kind of miss that commute. But then I started working from the office, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'd rather not commute."
Yeah.
Just because of the traffic more than anything. But
But yeah, no, today was one of those. You guys went to that event this morning, and
Yeah.
yeah,
it was just really hot.
yeah, pues
It
es
was
que
a lot
estaban
warmer than I
abierto,
was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Surprised
We
they
tried to
didn't.
hide in the shade as long
Yeah.
as we
I'm
could.
surprised they didn't lose weight there.
Seriously.
For real. Yeah.
But then I forgot that we were gonna fucking record today. Like,
So more than half of the team forgot that we were recording today.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm the only one that remembered.
I feel like I was baited too. She's like, "What are you doing the rest of the day?"
like she was just waiting to see what your answer
like
was.
This, and she's like, "You know we're recording today." And I was like,
That's not how I meant it because I was
But
gonna
it's how
tell
it came
you
across.
come over when you're done with the
Welcome
lunch.
to my
But I was
life,
like, maybe
Sylvia.
she has
Welcome
something
to
to
my
do after
life.
lunch. So yeah, I could have just been like, hey, come over after lunch. But I was like, well, what if she has things to do? And so then when she like gave me her list, I was like, huh. Like that doesn't
Like,
sound
this
like
bitch
there's any
doesn't
time in there
remember.
to record. And so then that's why I
I
was
was like, I have
oh.
to pack. I have to do
Yeah.
this. I have to do that. I have my lunch with work. I have a telehealth appointment.
And then she ended with, it's going to be a long night. And so that's why I was like, oh, yeah, she definitely doesn't remember we're going to record. So
okay.
I didn't mean to bait you, but it was that like.
She baits me all the time. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's why we
why
both
don't you
sit.
guys remember anything?
Whoa. You see? You see?
I'm scared. Mom, can you come pick me up? I'm
Her,
scared.
her true colors are shown. It's okay, baby.
Anyways, both of you forgot we were recording today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, she texted me and she was like, well, Sylvia's on her way and she's going to finish working here. And I was like, okay. Like, did we have dinner plans? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Did I miss something?
Yeah, why'd you invite that bitch over?
I was like, what the fuck? You know I
Already saw
smell.
her enough.
You know I smell after work, right? Like, I gotta shower first. What the fuck? We kind of Easter egg this last episode about
Yeah.
being vacuums of people's energy and stuff. But and I think we're all in the same boat when we have either had a friend or a family member or just someone in our close circle that like always reaches out to us to complain or
Yeah.
to vent. And whether it happens 10 times a week or one time a week, you always have that one person when you know it, their name comes up on your
Yeah.
damn phone and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I got to start charging this motherfucker. Specifically more, obviously, speaking for men, I feel like more oftentimes than not, we don't talk about like when we want people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But a lot of people always come to us sometimes with their problems, whether if it's our wives and our girlfriends or like we have that one homie.
Your
that-
wives and your girlfriends.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew this, but this is my religion.
That's me.
Yeah. Wives and girlfriends.
I'm a friend that's a girl.
Fuck, you know, I'm
Yes.
just going to go downstairs.
Hey,
Make myself
I'm
a sandwich.
helping you.
Sure,
Thanks.
she
Thanks.
backed you up.
Oh, yeah.
Turkey.
What the hell?
Turkey's like this. Yeah.
Mine's fat.
Yours doesn't have a beak. It's missing a whole ass neck there.
That's because it's fat. That's
Never seen a fat turkey? Fuck. Anyway, but you do become a vacuum of people's energies and
Yeah.
it gets exhausting.
yeah.
But like, how do you like set those boundaries with people, especially when it's someone that's like super close to you, and you start feeling like a little bad, but you're like, I really just don't want to hear it today.
Yeah.
So I have a friend, and they were telling me last week that they feel like one of those people. Like, I have these 2 people in my life, and it's just complaining about dating problems, and it's complaining about their lives, and like, there's nothing you can say to make it better ever. They just want to complain. And it gets to a point where it's just so mentally taxing. And I've been telling this person for months, I'm like, you give more value to this relationship than that person does. Because of who you are and just your nature of being. And sure, we complain sometimes. Like, I come over when I have problems. You guys let me know when you have problems. Like, I think there's always going to be a dose of your safe space. And like, I can complain here. But I have another friend that says this, and I really like this. It's okay to have problems, but you got to have new problems. And I feel like it's those people that like just come to you with the same shit, and you're just like, damn, aren't you tired of your own shit? You know? And this person was basically telling me, like, I got to really limit the access these people have to me because it's getting kind of annoying and it's getting kind of exhausting. I was like, I told you. I've been telling you
Didn't
for
want
months.
to say it, but I've been pretty good at like weeding those people out of my life also. I think there was a point in my life where I had a lot of people like that. And it's almost like that saying where you are the people you surround yourself around, because then like you start getting into that habit of like complaining or doing this or, you know, like always just they're like nitpicking on one thing. And so it's definitely like a boundary thing where just being like, hey, you know, like maybe let's look at things a little more positively, or like do some like self-reflection. Like, why do you always feel this way? And I know it's hard to have those conversations with everybody or like anybody that's bringing that into your life. But I do think it's important, especially if it's someone that you want to keep in your life. I do also like, as much as you can be a vacuum to people's energy in person, you can also be a vacuum to people's energy online.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard not to, especially when it's people you care about. Like maybe you don't talk to them on the daily, and like, you only see them through social media, or you only see them once in a while. And they're like posting their rants on social, and it's like on social, it's, you know, maybe it's only what they want to say or what they want to show, but at the end of the day, like, you could still be absorbing that energy, and then you just kind of take that with you for the rest of the day. So I tend to just like skip, mute. Like,
I get that way with social media when it comes to like political and social climate things.
Yeah.
Like, I have to constantly remind myself that it's not healthy for us to have as much immediate access to as much information and as much heartbreak and as much hardship as we have. Like, that's cute little fucking monkey.
I was about to say like Punch.
Yes.
Oh man.
Like,
I know.
why do I keep looking for this shit?
Yeah.
There was this one.
You don't even have to
Girl.
look for it. It just
No,
keeps
it's
coming
just
up.
there.
Yeah.
But you like feed into it and you're like, oh, I wonder what else there is. And you go look
I
for
hope
it.
he's okay.
And it's the same thing with like when, you know, political or social things come up where you're just like really fired up. And being a Latina and being a woman, like there's a lot that pisses me off right now. And I want to correct people. And I'm like, I am that person. I will fight with people online.
Yeah.
And I have to really check myself and walk away and be like, okay, that's enough for today, or let's just keep it to like productive news searches, because I will vacuum up all that energy, and then I'm just in a shit mood where I'm just like, fuck this country, fuck these people, fuck that girl too.
It is hard to separate yourself from that too. From like, when I was speaking about it right now, I was only thinking of like people I actually know, but that's true. Like I didn't even go as deep as like just the things that you're seeing on social media, that aren't like, they're not even people you know, yet you can take it so personally because it is a subject that you're passionate about, or whatever the case may be. That is a lot. I know like the Punch thing took a lot of emotion out of everybody in this room, and it's like this little freaking monkey, you know?
I'm like he's walking.
It happens all the time. I'm
Why
sure.
doesn't your mom love you?
By the time this episode comes out, this is going to be like such old news, but it was truly like, there was a day where Mario and I were sitting at the dinner table and we were both like just so sad over this freaking monkey, you know? And it's like, okay, like, yes, it's okay to like be sad about it, but you can't let it consume you either, you know?
Yeah.
And we definitely had like a moment of consumption where we were like, what the fuck? Like,
I had to stop
Yeah.
myself last night because I was like, I was going through this rabbit hole of like just watching him get dragged across the zoo.
Oh, my heart.
It's good. Like, why do they gotta add the sound effects of him going like screeching? It
Yeah.
fucking pisses. Well, obviously, I mean, and then let nature do its thing. And I was like, well, yeah, but fuck.
Well, don't put it in my face though.
Yeah.
Shit.
Damn, like fuck.
And then like they had the videos of him trying to like hug himself with the plushie, and it's like, wait, no mames.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
Anyways.
but with that type of stuff, we have
You're like,
control.
are you ready to take a break?
Yeah. Anyways, guys, live your best life. Fight your fears. But with that type of stuff, we have like control over, and
Yeah.
and both of you are pretty good at like setting that boundary of like, okay,
Yeah.
enough is enough. I'm not gonna consume any more social media for the day, or I'm gonna go for a fucking walk and
I'm
kind of
gonna
just
stop
disconnect.
talking to
yeah,
this
disconnect
person,
for a
or,
bit.
yeah.
But most of the time, what I'm really talking about is just like the people in your life that
Yeah.
actually look for you, and that
That's
it's
true,
like
you did
where
say
do you
that.
where do you like set that boundary, or like can you have that? I know Sylvia is pretty upfront and is like, wait, ya cállate la verga, you know. But for the average
You will
person,
never be confused if you are one of those people in my life.
like Sylvia will like tell you subtly, like, ya dejas de ser pendeja, you know, like in a nice way. But for the average Joe,
You think
yeah,
we may be complaining about this a little too much?
aren't you tired of the same shit?
It's
over
okay
and
to
over?
Isn't
have
it
problems.
so shitty when people complain about XYZ?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did that 5 fucking times this week.
But for the most part, I think it's hard for the majority of us to kind of have those difficult conversations with
Yeah.
people. Or do you think you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you just don't want to come off as insensitive
Yeah.
for what they're feeling, right? But you kind of just have to, eventually, you kind of have to like set that boundary and like, hey, wait, cállate.
I think
Yeah.
so. And I say this all the time and in very many different contexts, but I think that people act the way they act or are the way they are around you because we allow them to, you know?
Yes.
And so it's hard, I understand, to like have those conversations and set those boundaries, especially when it's people that you see consistently or speak to consistently. But like if there's a conversation one day where it's like, hey, like I've told you multiple times, like, you've been a little negative lately, you know, like, or you've been like acting this way lately. And it's more just because like, I don't want you to be walking around with that like negativity all day long, because that's what you end up attracting.
And I also haven't like caught it, you know, like I haven't, I know like sometimes I will catch myself like I'm being a little too negative, or I feel like I'm complaining too much, and yo mismo me hostigo. But I think it's different when it's like husband and wife, where you can tell me, hey, wait, the fuck,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Yeah, that's true.
That's
and, and also it's like you're a pretty self-aware person, you know, so you kind of like have that awareness where it's like, okay, maybe it's been a few days where I've been complaining about the same thing, like we're gonna change it or move on or whatever. But I mean, I don't know, like I think it's just really like if you feel comfortable enough to have a conversation with that person, and if not, then it's knowing that like this person's gonna come home or this person's going to come over today. They're going to be negative. They're going to talk their shit. They're going to complain about the same thing. And I'm not going to let it affect me, you know? And it's almost like putting up a wall or like a block of like, this is what this person needs right now. And it's just someone to like hear them out. And if like part of being a friend is it's being there for people during like their hard times too, you know? So it's like, if I have to listen to this person complain about the same thing 5 days in a row because that's who they need as a friend right now, then like that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna kind of put that like wall up to block that energy from me, you know, or sage my house when they leave or whatever. Like once they leave, have that moment of like self-reflection for yourself and know that that's not the energy that you want to carry through the week.
Pon una sábila en tu casa.
Yeah.
For our English speaker, the aloe vera? Aloe vera plant?
Yeah. The snake plants too. The one behind me.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's hard. I am, for one, very guilty of like absorbing people's energy for sure. And like hanging out with certain people and coming home and be like, fuck, like, you know,
like the last studio I left, that was a pit of like toxicity, people talking shit about each other. And I was like, we're supposed to be a team. We're supposed to be a family. And it was, well, you said this and I heard you said this about me. And I'm like, no, you know me. I said what I said about you to your face in a text message. Like, I don't have beef with you. And it was just such a weird, like, puras serpientes, like everybody just trying to fucking get everybody against each other. And it really sucked because I just hit a wall where I was like, fuck, I have to leave.
Yeah.
Like I can't be here. And it sucked because I didn't want to leave the community and the people I was doing what I was doing for, but the people behind the scenes were just making it, not everybody. I still have a lot of people I really love and cherish from that place, but like there were just some people where I'm just like, I can't win.
Yeah.
Like, and you have to get out of those places. And it's sometimes such a hard thing to do, to that removal, that extraction of like, fuck, because it's a literal vacuum. It sucks you in, and for you to just have to try to remove yourself from that, it's just as exhausting as being in it.
Yeah.
So I think some people stay in it for a long time because they're like, well, I'll just...
It almost becomes easier to just take it.
To just
deal with it.
pacify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, today was one, like I said, like today was just one of those days. I did not want to record today. I was just like, I'm fucking exhausted. I think we all were.
Yeah.
I think we all were just mentally just
I
fucking
had a
drained.
really bad headache all day.
You
I still
did.
got to
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah. Good luck. My bad.
To clean her house.
Yeah.
I have to clean my house. I got to find a dog sitter for Sunday night.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny you were saying that about like the 5-minute journal and just being a little bit more like happy about the things that are going on in your life. Today, I mean, I was exhausted. Felt like I didn't like get any fresh air like at all today. And then I sat in my car and then I like had to mentally prepare myself, and I was like, okay, you're gonna get home. Sylvia and Paul's already there. You can't show up in a shitty mood because we're gonna record, and you're literally gonna drain the energy in the house if you come in fucking exhausted and in a shitty mood. Like, déjalo todo ir ahorita. And you know, I mean, then I came upstairs and I was singing and I was having the time of my life.
You were fine.
Yeah.
You did a good job of preparing.
You were jolly as hell when you came.
But going back to the gratitude thing, that's what I was saying. Is like, then I sat in my
You
car.
need to record these pep talks for our YouTube. People could really use this.
I know. I wish I had like the meta glasses so people could actually see me.
I know. I was just gonna say, I wish we recorded how like chipper you were. I would have never known.
But I really did. I sat in my car and I was like, okay, it's been a week, but we're going to this event that we got invited to. We just got back from an SDFC game like last week. Like, things are going so well. We're gonna go shopping this weekend for things that we need. Sunday we have actually 2 events that we got invited. Like, things are just going so well, and there's so many great things in my life. It's not, I've said this before, it's like, it's not a shitty life, it's just a shitty moment. And it's like, okay, it was a crappy 8 hours. Tomorrow's Friday. Saturday and Sunday you have both days off, which is very rare for me. So I was like, let's just
a little more energy, more footwork, more energy.
More passion, more footwork.
Yeah. No, and I think it's really important in those days that you are feeling extra drained, or you were around someone that that you like vacuumed
all of your
sucked all
energy
their
dry.
Yeah.
Yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. It you sucked off.
Oh my God.
Sí.
Seriously.
Pero sí.
No se puede decir nada en esta casa. To like have those moments for yourself, like whether it's the 5-minute journal, it's that drive on your way home, it's the getting home and just like sitting on the couch for 5 minutes
Meditating.
and like decompressing a little. Meditating, listening to some music that puts you in a better mood, like just think like little
The Aura Ring app.
Just finding like those things that will just help you help boost your energy a little bit for the rest of that day, because then the next day starts and like hopefully you've fully released that energy that you've sucked in the day before, the week.
Sorry, I'm just really immature.
No me digas.
That's like me with fart jokes. She said suck.
Bot. That's the fucking minions.
No le den salud, por favor. But yeah, so like I think those moments are really important to just kind of help release from whatever happened in your day,
From what you sucked.
All right.
Sorry.
I didn't say that.
All right, yeah.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, it's getting annoying. Yeah, cálmate, Mario.
Grow up.
Cálmate, por favor.
At your age.
You know when it's bad? When I get in my car and I want silence.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when you know I'm down bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Just
when you know that
listen
the
to the
vacuum
road.
sucked a little too hard.
Anyway,
Didn't mean to feed that beast. Sorry. Yeah. I
Sorry, guys. You guys need to hop on the visuals. We're just a bunch of little faces going on.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? I'm gonna cut this up. I've been so like, cuando no continuamos la conversación, I always forget that I can just edit shit out.
yeah.
I don't.
Me too, honestly. I feel the pressure of like,
like,
and
of
I start to
having
jump,
to
start to get hot.
continue. Yeah.
No, you can cut
So como
this and
ahorita I
then-
was like, I can cut this off. Like we don't have to continue.
Yeah.
Siempre se me va la
like we
onda.
can plan on what we're gonna talk about next.
Yeah,
and you
I
can
might
still
just
cut
leave
it
all
out.
this in so people know what happens
Hey,
behind the
it's
scenes.
the raw reality
to have,
of recording a podcast.
Edits. What's it called? Bloopers.
Bloopers.
Oh, bloopers.
Bloopers. Yeah. You know what? I did think about that. Let us know in the comments because sometimes I think about like you guys. I mean, as the listeners, as the consumers, you guys obviously listen to the end product, and there's a lot of hours that go into like the editing and cutting off the ums and the filler words and the dead spaces, and you guys don't get to see that. And I don't know. I
don't have any filler words. I'm perfect.
Sylvia's pretty good at filler
She
words.
is actually.
The only thing
yeah.
she says a lot is yeah.
Toastmasters,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Can we
Yeah.
talk?
We all
Okay. Can we
say
talk
yeah.
about that? Yeah. Hold on. Hold on.
Wait.
This is perfect.
wasn't
I'm gonna let you edit a
No, we're
podcast
not
one day.
attacking her.
No, we're not.
We're just
No, I'm just
I
making
do
fun of
it
you. Look at her
too.
face.
I do it all the
Great.
time too, but that's what I'm saying. Like
She's
that's
gonna-
not it's not
No,
a
that's
filler.
She's gonna
all
be
we're
all
think
self-conscious about her
I'm never
yes.
gonna say that word again.
It's because when when either you or I are speaking, we agree with each other a lot.
Yeah.
And
I quit. Just kidding.
so there was one specific episode that he was editing. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of
Yeah.
yes, but
Yeah.
from both sides. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I could see how you're just so funny. Annoyed while you're editing. But it's just normal when you're having a conversation, you agree with that
Pues
person
es que
so
se-
they know that you're
Yeah.
listening.
Es que se nos olvida. Like we said it last time. Is that we're just literally we have to like forget that we're recording this and we're having a conversation and it's just you're both about to say yes.
we just
yeah.
nodded.
Yeah. Anyway,
This
do
is
you,
where
Now
when
you have
the
to
mouth
watch
tape,
the
yeah.
YouTube.
So this is where the mouth tape comes in. But let us know in the comments if you want to see the blue. I'm gonna leave all that shit in there. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
I mean, it's an accurate reflection of
It is.
our
Of what the
week
fuck really
and the brain
goes on.
fog and
Yeah.
like we're human before anything else.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
happens.
It goes with the conversation of the day where some days you don't want to show up.
Mm-hmm.
You just show up. Some days you don't want to do the work, but you have to, and today was one of those days where we knew we wanted to record because we enjoy our time, but we all had a really long and shitty day, whatever it was, whether you were at work all day, I had a really bad headache, you have a lot of things to do. So it's just like the reality of it is you don't always have something to say. You're like, we're not always scripted. We're never scripted, but a lot of the times our conversation does flow a little better. And today it's not.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about mouth tape.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue.
Are we? I thought we were doing that in the sleep one.
Was that not today?
Are we separating them?
Oh,
We
are
can.
We can.
Yeah.
We can separate it.
Leaving all that shit
That's-
in there
yeah,
too.
that's
Fuck it. I'm not
okay.
editing anything.
He's just going to put the
Yeah, I'm
raw
just gonna put
footage.
We
everything.
just want you to see exactly what happens.
Y tan solo con desprecio me has pagado. Vive con huevos, compa, lo que es. Que si una vez dije que
I had wrote this down a long time ago because it happens, I think, to most of us when having conversations. Specifically, I hate the in the Latino household because I just
But
feel,
it's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we
I-
relate to.
Yeah.
Right?
I think a lot of cultures can actually relate
so
to that
okay.
too.
Well, I think
So-
that's where I want to kind of say is it happens to all the culture. It happens to all of us realistically.
But that's our frame of reference.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's okay to say it that way.
Having difficult conversations, but not wanting to disrupt the household dynamic. And I think
You're talking to the wrong person.
well, no, because I feel like I don't have difficult conversations because I don't want to interrupt it. Versus you're down to have them,
and
and so
interrupt it.
and
I don't give a
disrupt
fuck.
it. Yeah. So it's like it's two different dynamics here on the couch.
that's
And I'm like
God
a little
damn
bit
it.
in the middle. Like
Yeah.
I'll have them sometimes, but I won't always.
Can't stop
you
hearing
know?
the yes now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wish you guys never told me that. God damn it. Anyway, yes.
And like disrupting the peace, I guess it's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying is because you don't want to disrupt the peace with the people that you respect and love. And sometimes, yeah, and sometimes it's difficult because I don't know. I mean, por ejemplo, por mí con mis papás, you know, like I don't want to. Sometimes they have their way of looking at life and the way they see things, and sometimes we get into a lot of disagreements because I clearly see life in a very different way.
You challenge.
And I challenge them, but like challenging a Latino household is just very taboo. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I guess for you, like, do you kind of cross that?
I feel that my dynamic is even more so because my frame of reference isn't just the Latino, it's also the Polish and German element. And if you know anything about either of those cultures, they can both be very strict, very stubborn, very stern, and my dad is very much the archetype, like masculine provider man. And then being from those cultures that are very stern, rigid, strict. And then my mom is a very archetype Latina that's whatever my husband says goes. And, you know, we don't tell people our shit.
Yeah.
And I've never agreed with that. Eso. I've never agreed with that statement. Never. I've basically made my whole career as a instructor, influencer, blogger, whatever you want to call it, off of breaking that norm.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we're supposed to put the highlights up. I think Instagram and any social media is also really, really guilty of putting on this facade that everything should be or has to be perfect all the time. And I rebuke that. I think that there's so much power in showing humanity, and not only in showing other people so that they feel comfortable and safe being themselves and showing their elements of humanity, but also for the sense of it's for the sense of holding yourself accountable. I think there's so much power in you putting yourself out there with your imperfections, because now people know about them, and what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Are you going to stay that way, or are you going to call it out and change it? And so I think that people should have more hard conversations. People should be a little more willing to wear their heart on their sleeve. If you are that person that's complaining all the time, and that person that you're complaining to doesn't call you out on your shit, so that you can also claim it and be like, you know what, you're right, I really need to change this. Or you're telling people that you don't want to change it, and then people have the information to do with that what they will, and maybe they won't talk to you anymore. But it just makes the world such a better, well-oiled machine for you to be honest and wear that shit proudly. And I'm not saying that it's comfortable. Sometimes we do shitty things. I cheated on my ex-husband. My first blog post I ever wrote was about cheating on my ex-husband, not because I'm proud of it, but I can happily say I'm not that person anymore. If I know I need to stray, if I know I want to, I'm going to have a conversation about it. I've matured, I've grown, I've seen the impact. I don't like living with that. It's something I have to live with the rest of my life. So when it comes to my family, nobody's an exception. You have a direct impact in my life. I have a direct impact in your life. And if there's something negative on either side of that, you have to call it out. Life is way too short, period. I don't see it any other way. And you're going to pacify something or be quiet about something just to make the other person comfortable. Well, you're the one that has the shit end of the stick there, because you're still uncomfortable. Yeah. No matter how you cut that cake, somebody's going to be uncomfortable. Wouldn't you rather just deal with it and then put it away and then it's gone forever? That's just the way I see it.
And I think this also, like, this kind of bleeds into the last episode where we were talking about, like, people's opinions and how people don't know how to take people's opinions anymore. That kind of bleeds into this, because it's something that my mom, it's funny because for me it was a little different. Like, I was taught to challenge, and then I started challenging my family, and all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, you know, like never
what did we create?
Yeah, never was I told like, no, don't challenge anymore. But you could tell that it was kind of like disrupting the peace, or like there was, you know, like there was moments where it was like I did get in trouble, or I was told like, because I'm your mom, or because I'm your, you know, like it was just like very like they didn't really know how to be like, how do we so like to me, like I was taught that
she has a mind of her own.
now I think that
Oh no, we raised a strong, independent woman that thinks for herself.
that we raised and like ¿Qué es eso? And like now my mom and I do have that relationship where like I can tell her when maybe I'm like she's being a little too much, or her comment was out of pocket, or you know, like just like she can tell me when maybe I'm like out of pocket or whatever it might be. Like we do have that open dialogue and we both accept it. Maybe in the moment it stings a little, maybe in the moment you're like, oh, you know, like I don't know, like I didn't like how that felt. But we move on from it and like don't hold the grudge or don't hold it against each other, because we know that we can have those conversations openly. And I think that for me, like it's like what I was saying about the opinions. It's like we're all allowed to feel a certain way, and we're all allowed to voice how we feel and why. And if you made me feel a certain way, then I should be able to tell you that. Punto y aparte como te sientas tú. You know, because I also felt this way. And like we've had these conversations in the past where it's like not between you and I, but just in general, where it's like, why do you get to feel that way, but I don't? Like, why do you get to have a shitty day, but I didn't get to have a shitty day? Because yours was shittier in a different way, you know? So it's just like being able to start getting comfortable with having those conversations. And I mean, sometimes you start small and it's just a small conversation where it was like, you would have never done that. And sometimes it's a really long and deep conversation that like may disrupt your world for a little while, but you have to be okay with that because you're being true to yourself versus just staying quiet and then nobody's ever gonna advance from it, you know? But
I think one thing that I tried to do, and maybe this for the people that feel uncomfortable with confrontation or feel uncomfortable tackling situations like that, one of the things that really helped me with my family to start planting seeds. If you're not comfortable with like completely embracing that conversation right away, or if it makes you nervous, even saying things like, hey, would you mind if we change the conversation? Because I have a lot going on in my head and I don't really have the capacity for that. Why don't we talk about something else? Or you present a different topic to talk about, or you come up with something more positive. Or if you're going into a situation where you know that that person is that person that's going to complain, that's going to bitch, you almost already hear it in your head. Like, I already know what this person's going to bitch about today. Come armed with something you can alternate with. Now, if they don't take that bait, or if they don't respect that, that's a different conversation. Then you need to look into distance.
yeah, because then it becomes a toxic environment, right? And like, I don't know how your parents were, how it was. I can't relate to this because it's not how it was in my home, but I know a lot of people, like a lot of Latinos, right, that have the same issue where their parents are a little bit older and it's almost like a generation thing because like this is how it was for them, where it's like, well, I'm your mom or I'm your dad, so you respect me. And then you have us that are a little bit younger, and yes, of course, I'm going to respect you, but you should also respect me. Like, I am also a person, you know, and I'm no longer an 8-year-old little girl. Like, I
also don't think age is relevant.
you're right. It's not.
I really, that's another thing I resent, the respect your elders thing. I respect people that respect me.
Yes.
And we don't have to have the same opinion. We don't have to think the same. We don't have to have grown up the same. If we can have a mutual respect, and for you to be able to say things like, you know what, good for you, that's not really something I would do. Or, oh, that's an interesting take. I don't agree with you, but it makes me think differently. And I like that. Thanks for offering that perspective. Like, we don't have to be right here all the time, but if you cannot respect me and at least meet me here, then that's a different story. And I don't care if you're 2 or you're 100.
No, you're right. Age shouldn't matter at all, because you should respect your, like, the little kids in your life as much as you respect the older, right? You're totally 100% right. But I think it just comes from like that Latino generational like bring up where they're like, oh, pues, like, eres una niña de 8 años, ¿tú qué sabes? You know? And okay, right. You grew up your entire life hearing that if you were like in that situation, but now you're not that. Like, now I'm a 32-year-old woman that has my own thought process and has my own way of looking at life. So just like I respect the way you look at things because that's how you grew up, or that's the things that you went through in your life, then you like now you also respect me. And the kind of having that shift, because I do think that more often than not, you grow up in that house, in a household with the mentality of like, porque soy tu mamá, porque soy tu papá, y porque eres una niña de 8 años, you know, and like,
it's giving Matilda, I'm big, you're
you're
small.
Yeah, exactly, you know? And so I think that's even harder for people like in our age or even younger, but like people trying to gain also the respect from their family. And now you're trying to have these conversations and you continue hearing the same thing. Well, why are you challenging me? I'm your mom. Why are you telling me, like, why are you, like, you need to understand everything we've gone through or everything we've done for you or all the sacrifices. And it's like, nobody said I
got
didn't.
so much of that helping to raise my siblings, where my parents would be like, oh, so you think you know what it takes to parent? And I'm like, kinda.
Yeah.
Because I'm a decade older than these fuckers and these aren't mine.
Yeah.
And I have to take care of them all the time. And even when we give parenting advice on the pod, it's interesting because I always wonder, like, are there people with children that are like, yes, estos pendejos que saben, like, you know,
Like,
what do we know?
Those couple episodes, we actually got really good feedback from some parents.
Yeah, we
like,
did. Yeah,
I mean, we didn't get any bad, but I'm sure there are plenty.
Oh, for sure.
Out there that like thought bad of, but there was some that like messaged us like, good talk, like you guys are 100% right, or like that's how I look at it too, or whatever, you know. So I was like, okay, well, we're not that far behind.
Well, it's also, I think, people that are trying to like grow kind of like with the times too, and like they see life in the kind of like the same way that we do. But it is hard sometimes when you're like, when you don't want to disrespect, you don't want to interrupt the peace.
Yeah.
And you're like you're kind of tired of that, like, because I'm your mom and your dad, me tienes que respetar y aquí se hace lo que yo diga porque yo te crié. And I was like, all right, cool, but also the way you're looking at things makes me want to distance myself from you.
Yeah.
But I think that's a harder conversation too, is like having to distance yourself from your family because it's kind of frowned upon in our community. It's
not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
It's
No.
very difficult.
You know,
and I'm talking to my parents again. That's something we haven't talked about a lot on the podcast, because that's actually the first podcast I ever did with you guys. I was a guest,
About that.
and I talked about that. And going from that, even just, what was that, probably 2 years ago now when I was a guest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now, and the juxtaposition between how steadfast I was, no, like I don't talk to these people, to now where, you know, my dad's going through radiation. I'm going through these feelings that I haven't explored for a while, of the guilt that I felt not talking to him. And now that he is going through radiation and his cancer is back, like, shit, did I make a mistake not speaking to him for 4 years? And I have to constantly check myself and remind myself that no, I didn't. I did it for a reason. I did it for mental health purposes. It served that purpose. And just like when it was time back then to adjust, it was time to readjust and welcome them back into my lives. And I'm very lucky that it's been positive. But I know that it's been positive because my dad, although he will never admit that he's wrong, he makes subtle comments where he's just, he actually said it to Kelly. And he was like, yeah, you know, I made some mistakes but I really want my kids in my life. But, you know, if you come into those situations with the grace and the fortitude of, no, this is wrong, I'm going to create this boundary, and you hold steadfast to that because you know it's true, I don't feel that you'll ever actually regret that.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of guilt, sadness, emotion? Of course. I'm only human, and I'm a very empathetic human, so it's very difficult for me not to have those thoughts cross my mind. But at the end of the day, I know without a question that I took the right steps that I needed so that I could grow, so that I could live my life. And so that if this time presented itself again, I could come into it differently. And clearly that also is being echoed on the other side. And I think there's a lot of people can learn from that. I think that we are so afraid because it's your family, it's your blood. But no, I hold you to a higher standard because you're my family, because you're my blood. And I cared more about this than I would anybody else.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the time, like you said it right now, but like even just in conversations or, you know, like finally, I don't know, ramping up to a conversation that you've been wanting to have. A lot of the times it's sometimes easier to just like give in or just be like, yeah, okay, we're just, let's drop it. Like, it's not worth it anymore. But you always end up regretting that. You always end up regretting the 100%. Moment that you just gave in instead of like holding your stance. Was it a lot harder to hold your stance? 100%.
Every time.
Did that conversation only get harder and harder and harder as it went? Of
100%.
Course it did. But you walk out of there feeling a little more empowered and feeling just like better about the situation. A weight off your shoulder. It's almost like a weight off the shoulders. Even if the conversation came to then I guess we're just not going to talk anymore, But then it's almost like okay.
I guess you put it on the table, right? Too, and to like Sylvia's point, unfortunately, certain things had to happen for maybe your dad to have come to that realization, but he eventually came to that realization.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wouldn't have probably put it on the table, then maybe he wouldn't have come to that, right? Or maybe or maybe it would have taken him longer, or whatever the case is. And sometimes, and we're talking a lot about parents, but this could be anybody. It could be your, like I said earlier, it could be your friend, it could be your sister, it could be an uncle.
Yeah.
I've definitely set boundaries with like uncles and aunts that I don't even care to see anymore, because they have been such a toxic entity in my life. I talked about in the podcast with Jonah, which actually shout out Jonah and Les from Barbershop Confidential. They've been huge supporters of the pod too. Pero I talked about it on the podcast when Jonah was here. One of my tias, where she like was talking to my mom that I was drinking too much when I was in fucking Germany, and I was like, "Fuck you, bitch!" Like
we were there for Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're
on vacation.
Like, read a book. Do you even know what that is?
You know what? It pissed me off because like, okay, you have the audacity of talking shit about me, but one of your son's kids got taken away from you. Had babies with a crackhead, and they were homeless.
It gets deep.
Yeah, and then
that's why he was like,
and then my other cousin is in prison. And
but you know what? Even knowing that, you know what my first thought is? Why isn't she coming to you and being like, "Hey,
you're drinking a lot.
I feel like you're drinking a lot. Like, is everything okay? Like, I care about your health."
Yeah.
That is a completely different way to approach that situation than.
No, it was like a tattletale.
Está tomando otra vez. And I was like, bitch, yeah, I'm drinking. And I'm in Germany. And I'm in fucking Europe. Where are your kids? Where are your grandkids? Está en Europe, güey. ¿Cómo lo extraño?
¿Qué tienes?
Es que extraño Europe, güey.
Tranquilo.
No, es que todo es mejor allá. Suéltame.
Or like, I do have an uncle that he is very toxic. And he is that, like, soy tu tío. Y me debes de respetar. And I'm just kind of like, bro.
Like, someone come get their tío.
First
of
all,
I don't claim this one.
I don't care. No, I don't have that type of relationship with you. And even he is that type of person where like, he is very narcissist. Whereas like, even if you did tell him, yo todavía tengo la culpa. Or like, if I like tell him, hey,
narcissists
like you'd never be able to
I'd never be able to win that conversation.
No.
Or he would flip it because he is so narcissistic. It's like, oh, now you don't respect me and I'm your uncle and you should respect me. And you came to me and you said this. And so it got so toxic. I was like, nah, you're blocked. I never want to hear from you ever again.
Well, you set the boundary of, all right, well, I know I'm never going to be able to have this conversation with you. So we're just going to, we're just going to
close this book.
We're closing it. Yeah. But it's just that like, you have to know, I guess, who you're approaching or who you're going to have this conversation with, you know?
That was the lead up to what I was going to say is like, if you're on the other, if you're going into this, you also have to kind of read the room. And if they are going to be a little narcissistic and they're not going to be receptive to what you're saying, just be ready that you're going to take the L, but at least like I told Sylvia, at least you're putting it on the table. And if time does come where they kind of have that time of self-reflection, it's like, well, you could have been like, well, I told you so. Now, you know.
And in reality, like, who took the L?
I'm saying L.
You know?
I'm saying L at the moment because maybe you do want to clear things up, and you kind of have that.
You have like
a
different idea of how you want
of how that conversation was gonna end, but like you kind of know that person that you're gonna have that conversation with, so you know you're going in that taking the L.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. I think that as an individual, because at the end of the day, you can love the shit out of your family. You can adore your friends to the moon and back. You can appreciate and have gratitude for all the relationships that you cherish deeply in your life. But the most important one is still with yourself.
Yeah.
So you are taking an L to just tragarlo, put up with it, put up and shut up. You are the one that continues to lose and lose and lose. And I will say it's never easy to set those boundaries, to have those conversations. I wrote my parents a letter. Like it got to a point where I was like, there is no conversation that won't blow up. There's no way to do this except to swiftly exit with a kind letter and to put it in a way that's as thoughtful and sweet and explicatory as I can make it. But like they're going to hate me regardless of how I deliver this. And I got a really nasty response, and that's okay. I knew I was prepared for that. But the weight that lifted for me and all the things that came after in my life because that weight lifted were completely irreplaceable. Like there's no way I wouldn't go back and do that a million times over. Because I think of all the things I gained in finally claiming that power back and saying, no, you cannot have this control over me, because that's what it is. It's not even that you're giving people access. You're literally giving people control over how you feel, how you go out into the world, and how you show up in your life. That's a really big price to pay. Like you have to think about that shit. And that's why for me personally, I don't care. I don't care if you birthed me. I don't care if you helped make me happen. I don't care if you are my blood. I don't care if I helped to raise you. I don't care if you're my friend, or I don't care if you're this homeless man on the street. Yeah. I smile at homeless people and I look at them in the eyes because I want them to feel human and to feel seen. And if I'm going to give that respect to them, imagine the people that I actually know and care about in my life. So no, I know what I show up to. I know what I bring to the table. And if you're going to take that for granted and make me feel like I'm the problem and I have to feel like shit about it, immediately no.
Yeah. Well, I also think that like everybody is living life for the first time. So we're all just learning, you know,
That's beautiful.
It's a learning, a learning process. And you know, like your dad, like you said it earlier, like your dad may have not ever learned this if you wouldn't have taken that step. And as painful as it was for you, and I'm sure it was very painful for them too, they just didn't know how to process like what was happening, you know. It did teach you both something, and it's at the end of the day like changed your lives. I'm sure it changed his
for a very positive thing.
Yeah. So this was definitely a tough one.
Yeah.
I think it's overall it's a tough situation to be in regardless. Nobody wants to have the hard conversations. Yeah. But those hard conversations really do go a really long way.
But I guess just all that just to say, like, if someone is sucking the energy out of you, then you really do got to do something, because then you won't have the energy to build the life that you need. But anyways, guys, we're going to leave it here. We're all fucking tired. Sylvia needs to pack, and I'm fucking starving. I could munch down like 10 patties at In-N-Out right now.
Just the patties?
Just the patties.
No
just the patties.
cheese?
Just the puppy patty?
Your boy's going to get lean.
The puppy patty. Just 10 little puppy patties.
I got 1 month to Coachella. I got 50 pounds to lose. I got this.
Okay.
Damn.
I got this. I'm going to be looking fit as fuck at Beaverchella.
Okay.
I love you more than
baby. Baby.
Full circle moment. Well, guys, como siempre, thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate you guys so much. I did say I gave him a shout out earlier, but I did tell him I was going to give him a huge shout out. Jonah, thank you so much for tuning in every single week. I tune into their podcast weekly. We talk
They're
weekly.
So supportive.
They're super supportive. Me and Jonah go back and forth every single week. As soon as an episode drops, this guy is on it. Les, I don't even know if she listens, but no beef with Les.
We still love that girl.
I've seen her box. I ain't trying to catch that.
Brows. Please don't say
I ain't trying to catch that fade. No, I've seen her hit the bag. No. And Andy, I owe you a shout out too, man. You've been a huge support to the podcast, and you tune in every single fucking week.
He even made us our new song.
He did make us our new song,
Huevos.
and honestly, support like that goes a long fucking way.
We didn't even ask for it.
No, he just fucking one day he just sent it to us. But support like that goes a long fucking way. Just like last week's episode where we thank the fans.
I just thought of that kid that's like, do you like surprises?
Oh, I hate that one. Oh no, I want to. With this black eyes. Ooh. Yeah, but it does go out such a long way, and things and moments like that, and people like that who are in your life and are in the same career. I guess that's what I was saying, and genuinely support you and show up for you, just like the fans that tune in every single week. That also fills us up with so much joy and gratitude, and that energy to keep going. more passion. But anyways, guys, como siempre, live your best life, fight your fears. At the end of the day, the only thing that you regret are the things that
that you did not do. We out of here,
Vive
guys.
Con Huevos.
Peace.
We're out of here. Bye.
What the fuck was that?